Saudi Arabia is on an immense construction frenzy, with massive mega-projects including Oxagon, Trojena, and the Line. And now, after more than 5 years since the building on the Jeddah Tower was abruptly halted, it may be resumed. But why just now? What has changed? And why is nearby Dubai aiming to construct an even taller structure? Let us explore. Simply put, the Jeddah Tower will be the world's first man-made structure to reach a height of more than 1 kilometer. This tower is Saudi Arabia's bid to dethrone the Burj Khalifa, which has held the world record for the tallest structure for more than a decade. Once completed, it would outdistance the current record by up to 180 meters. And that is assuming that the Jeddah Tower will be built no higher than a kilometer above ground. The tower's true height is a closely guarded secret, despite the fact that it was announced that it would be at least 1,000 meters tall. It was even suggested in early discussions with the architect that it could be closer to a mile or 1,600 meters in height. This would more than double the current record. However, after soil research on the site, there were some reservations about the viability of such a massive structure. As things now stand, we may never know the exact height until the structure is completed. The Jeddah Tower, when finished, would have a wide range of luxury residences, restaurants, offices, a Four Seasons hotel, and the world's highest observation deck. Its architects hope that the construction of such a tower will firmly establish Jeddah on the global scene, and that it will provide the city of Jeddah with the same economic prosperity that the Burj Khalifa has brought to Dubai. But to understand how we got here, we must first travel back a few years. Unsurprisingly, developing the world's first kilometer-tall structure is a difficult task. In fact, several of the world's best architects were chosen to compete in a design competition for the project. Adrian Smith, the architect behind the Burj Khalifa, and many other super-tall skyscrapers throughout the world, eventually came out on top with his magnificent design. That is quite a portfolio. Following the completion of the design, the main construction company was chosen. Bin Laden Group, a Saudi construction firm, has been given a $1.2 billion contract to begin constructing the foundations for the Jeddah Tower. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, a Saudi businessman, is responsible for the majority of the project's funding. After more than 5 years of planning and bidding, the building finally began in 2013. Over the next 3 years, construction progressed smoothly, and by 2017, the main structure had reached a height of 252 meters. The foundation and piling work were also reported to have been finished, marking a significant milestone with the project expected to be one-third completed. During the same year, however, the owner of Kingdom Holding Co. and the chairman of Saudi bin Laden were both imprisoned as part of the 2017 Saudi Arabian Purge, a series of mass arrests in the country that targeted senior princes, government officials, and business executives. Additionally, the Jeddah Tower is a private project, meaning that its success depends largely on the financial support of a small number of people, unlike Neom and the Line, which receive funding from the nation's sovereign wealth fund. Things began to deteriorate when, in early 2018, labor concerns with a contractor prompted all structural work on the project to come to halt. It didn't help that just 2 years later, the COVID-19 pandemic broke out, putting an end to any possibility of building resuming. But after more than 5 years of radio silence, it was revealed just last September that building on the Jeddah Tower would resume. The project's developer has recently begun the search for a new contractor to replace the Bin Laden Group. Several firms from Saudi Arabia, China, Korea, and Europe have been invited to bid on the contract. The invited companies were given 3 months to prepare their ideas, which means that the project would most likely have a new contractor by the end of the year, at the very least. Although the exact cause of the project's resumption is unknown, we can make a few educated predictions based on the information we've been given and the current timeline of events. For one thing, as the world slowly recovers from the COVID-19 pandemic, health regulations and restrictions have become much looser. In contrast, given the constraints, it was simply impossible for the project to resume development between 2020 and 2022. Contractors can now deploy full-size teams of laborers on site again, thanks to less stringent standards. Another plausible explanation is the country's reputation. The Jeddah Tower is meant to be Saudi Arabia's answer to Dubai's Burj Khalifa, an incredible feat of engineering that would give the country the distinction of holding the world's highest structure. If the project has been shelved forever, it would have reflected poorly on the country. Not to mention, it would have been a major humiliation. For Saudi Arabia, completely abandoning the Jeddah Tower was just out of the question. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's Saudi Vision 2030 is another factor in the recovery. Although the Saudi government is not building the Jeddah Tower, its ambitions are remarkably similar, with both the creation of tens of thousands of jobs and the country's place on the global stage as a worldwide corporate and cultural leader. If building on the skyscraper proceeds quickly and without hiccups, it may be completed just in time for the turn of the decade. Though the Jeddah Tower is spectacular in its own right, it is only a minor element of a larger mega-project. Economic City of Jeddah, the Jeddah Economic City, is a major project aimed at revitalizing the port city known for its resorts and historic neighborhoods. The planned city, geographically located along the Red Sea coast and just north of the King Abdul Aziz International Airport, is poised to become a significant tourist, religious, and commercial hub in the near future. The project will cover 5.2 square kilometers and is projected to cost up to $20 billion, with most of the investment coming from private investors and Saudi institutions. The Jeddah Tower, a massive tower that would serve as a symbol of Saudi engineering and economic skills, will sit in the heart of this planned city. As of today, building on stage 1 of the city is well underway, with the road network and landscaping work being 90% complete. According to the most current sources, this is despite the scandal surrounding the project's owner and key financial backer, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal's detention, in contrast to the issues and delays encountered by the Jeddah Tower during construction. Jeddah Economic City appears to be on track. Once the formations and essential amenities are completed, the city can immediately begin the process of leasing plots of lands to various developers and companies so that their projects can begin. It is projected that the initial phase of development will generate 30,000 jobs, with chances for both Saudi nationals and foreign workers. The city's skyline will be stunning once completed, with plans for the least 200 mixed-use towers surrounding the central Jeddah Tower. It will also be separated into 3 sectors: residential, financial, and a modern reconstruction of Jeddah's ancient neighborhood, Al-Balad. The Jeddah Economic City is expected to become a major economic, religious, and academic powerhouse for the country, akin to what Dubai is to the UAE, and to further cement Saudi Arabia's position as a key contender in the global arena. But with all of the recent and significant advances with the Jeddah Tower, what does constructing the world's highest skyscraper actually mean to the rest of the world? For one thing, news of the Jeddah Tower's resumption and construction is unlikely to please neighboring Dubai. After all, they risk losing the world's tallest skyscraper, which they have held for the past 14 years. The opening of the Burj Khalifa contributed to Dubai's transformation into the tourism and commercial magnet that it is today. Losing the record to a neighboring country right now is perhaps not the best option for them. But the discontent doesn't stop there. Dubai may also lose the competition to reconstruct the world's first kilometer-high building. The Dubai Creek Tower was planned to be the Emirates' response to Saudi Arabia, a project conceived purely with the purpose of erecting a tower taller than the Jeddah Tower. Even this strategy, however, does not change much due to a minor technicality. It is worth noting that the Dubai Creek Tower does not qualify as a skyscraper because less than half of its height is habitable. Instead, the project is classified with a supported tower. After completion, it would still be the tallest structure ever built, but the record for the tallest building would most certainly shift to Saudi Arabia. Similar to the fate of the Jeddah Tower, this project was temporarily halted due to the COVID-19 epidemic. Surprisingly, just as Saudi Arabia announced the resumption of work, Dubai revealed that they are planning to alter the concept behind their tower, implying that they may also resume building in the near future. This project has been on hold in Dubai for many years, and now that the Jeddah Tower has been announced to reopen, they are doing the same. Even when building on the Creek Tower began 7 years ago, the goal was always to build something taller than the Jeddah Tower. When the Jeddah Tower was halted in 2017, Dubai declared that their project would be postponed as well. Another potential impact of the Jeddah and Dubai Creek Towers on the rest of the world is the burgeoning race to build bigger and taller structures. If either of these two towers is ever completed, it is safe to assume that the other will have plans to build something much bigger. And if not, someone somewhere in the world is undoubtedly already planning to build something taller. Who can say? Perhaps in a few decades, a 1-kilometer tall building will no longer be as stunning as we think it is now. What are your thoughts on the Jeddah Tower? Do you believe it will eventually be finished this time? Please let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.